Hello, welcome back to Small Hearts, Loud Voices. I am Adrian Adair, founder of Heartbeat Forward, and this is the podcast dedicated to making congenital heart disease impossible to ignore. So last episode we talked about the number 1 in 100. Today we go deeper. Today we talk about one of the most common and most misunderstood congenital heart conditions in the world. A condition that has a name most people cannot pronounce until it belongs to someone they love. Today, we talk about Tetralogy of Fallot. Let us get into it. Tetralogy of Fallot. It is a long name for something that changes everything the moment you hear it. It is one of the most common, complex congenital heart defects in the world. It accounts for approximately 10% of all congenital heart disease cases. That means right now, hundreds of thousands of children and adults around the world are living with a heart that was built differently from the very beginning. Here's what it actually means. Tetralogy of Fallot is not one defect, it is 4. That is what the word tetralogy means. 4 things happening inside one small heart at the same time. The first is a hole between the 2 lower chambers of the heart, what doctors call a ventricular septal defect. The second is a narrowing of the pulmonary valve, the gateway between the heart and the lungs, which restricts blood flow. The third is an aorta that sits in the wrong position, directly over that hole instead of over the left ventricle where it belongs. And the fourth is a thickened right ventricle, a wall of muscle that has worked so hard to push blood through a narrowed valve that it has grown thick with the effort. 4 things, 1 heart, 1 child. Without surgery, Tetralogy of Fallot is life-threatening. With surgery, many children who carry this diagnosis go on to live full, meaningful, extraordinary lives. But the surgery is open heart, and it typically happens in the first year of life. Let that sit for a moment. A baby, a first birthday still months away, and already a scar on their chest that tells the story of everything they have already survived. That is Tetralogy of Fallot, and that is why we're here. Okay, so I want you to imagine a mother in a hospital room. She has just delivered her baby, everything she was told to expect about the first moments of motherhood, the crying, the skin to skin, the weight of that small body in her arms. None of it is happening the way she imagined. Her baby's lips are blue. Not for a moment, not a flicker, blue in a way that tells the doctors in that room that something is wrong before a single test has been run. Within hours, she has a name for what is happening inside her child's heart. Tetralogy of Fallot. She cannot spell it yet. She cannot say it without stumbling. But she writes it down on the back of a hospital bracelet because she needs it to be real. She needs something to hold on to. In the weeks that follow, she becomes an expert in a language she never asked to learn. Oxygen, saturation levels, echocardiograms, surgical timelines. She learns what a TET spell is. Those terrifying episodes where her baby's oxygen drops suddenly and her whole body goes cold with fear. She learns how to position her baby, how to watch, how to wait. And she learns something else, something no one puts in a medical pamphlet. She learns that love has no limit, that a parent capacity to show up, to fight, to sit in a waiting room for 6 hours during open heart surgery and hold themselves together by sheer will is one of the most profound things one human being can do for another. Her child has the surgery, and then another, and they are here, older now, with a scar on their chest and a story that deserves to be told. There are thousands of families living inside that story right now. Today, tonight, they deserve to be seen. If you are a parent who has just heard the words Tetralogy of Fallot for the first time, I want to speak directly to you. You are allowed to be terrified. You are allowed to grieve the pregnancy you thought you were going to have, the birth story you imagined, the first weeks of newborn life that look nothing like what is happening right now. Grief and love can live in the same body at the same time. You don't have to choose. And I want you to know this. The fear you are feeling right now is not weakness. It is evidence of how much you love this child. It is the most human thing in the world. The road ahead is not easy, but your child is not alone. You are not alone. There are surgeons who have dedicated their entire lives to hearts like your child's. There are families who have walked this exact road and come out the other side. There are communities built entirely around the experience you are having right now. And to the children living with Tetralogy of Fallot, the ones old enough to understand their own diagnosis, the ones who have questions they don't know how to ask, the ones who look at their scar in the mirror and wonder what it means about who they are. That scar is not a flaw, it is a map. It shows exactly where you have been and how far you've come. It is proof that your heart, even with everything it carries, kept going. You were built different, and different is not less. Different is extraordinary. Here's what I'm asking you to do today. Learn how to say it. Tetralogy of Fallot. Say it out loud. Practice it, because the families living with this diagnosis have had to say it hundreds of times in the hardest moments of their lives. And the least we can do is know the word. Then share this episode with one person, a friend, a family member, a colleague, someone who's never heard of Tetralogy of Fallot, because awareness starts with a name, and today you learned one. You can also visit heartbeatforward.org to learn more about our mission, our care packages for children in cardiac units, and how you can support the families who need it the most right now. If this episode meant something to you, please leave a review and share the show. Every new listener is another voice added to this mission. Thank you so much for being here for episode 2. This is Small Hearts, Loud Voices. I am Adrian Adair, because every small heart deserves a loud voice.